is something called the Great Migration, where blacks looking for a bright future because of the stories that they read in the Chicago Defender that was located about 2 blocks from here. That they heard that Chicago was a good place to visit. And so they got on the old Illinois Central Railroad and came and landed most times right there in Roosevelt and Michigan Avenue at the IC station. And then they settled in this area. And this area became the Black Metropolis area. And this is the area where we had doctors and teachers and others living in the same community. This is the area where we had the Bingo State Bank and the Douglas State Bank. Supreme Life Insurance Company in this area. This is the area where we had some of the best and most profound preachers living in this area. This is the area where gospel music was first discovered. Here in this area. This is an area where you had business people who, this was called the capital of black business in the nation, was located right here at 35th and State Street. It's such a proud community. We have business people now who are located in this area who are continuing their legacy. Elsie Higginbotham and Allison Davis, who built the Park Boulevard and who renovated the Overton building, which is a building that has historical designation. And I see others who are here who have played such an important part in terms of this area. The politicians in this area, Oscar DePriest, the first black congressman from elected to Congress since Reconstruction, came from this area. Arthur Mitchell, the first Democratic member of Congress, succeeded Oscar DePriest. He came from this area. William Bill Dawson, the first African American to be the chairman of a full committee in Congress, came from this area. Ralph Metcalf, the Olympic track star, he came from this area, and my predecessor in Congress. Bennett Stewart, Harold Washington, our mayor, came from this area. Charlie Hayes came from this area. We can't forget Cornell Davis came from this area. Fred Smith and Margaret Smith. Those were just some of the people who preceded Lou Jones and whose shoulders she stood on. This is a very, very important historical community. And to hear the sound of the Metra train stopping here at this time means so much to us as we commemorate and celebrate this woman who I love so much. Even now, at moments, special moments, I think and I can hear and I see Lou Jones. I'm inspired by her. Some of the things that she said, some of her favorite sayings. Those things kind of, Carol and I talk about them. You remember Lou when she used to say this? And you remember Lou when she used to say this? And you remember how Lou could cuss? I tell everybody, if you want people who want to know about Lou Jones, and they know about Mike Madigan, I said, Lou Jones is the only one that could cuss Mike Madigan out and leave out of his office and he'd be smiling. Because he knew that she'd be right, and she would be telling him what the truth is. It just means so much to me to be able to take a thought, an idea, and just to set the history straight. I want you to know that this is not an original idea, this station. Back in 1984, when I was first elected office, there was a guy that most of you don't even know, most of you can't remember, but he was a member of this Chicago City Council. He was defeated that year, but in 1983. But he came to me in 1984 and he said, he called me Bobby. His name was Chris Coyne. Chris Coyne's father was the Secretary of Education under President Roosevelt. But Chris was an alderman in the city of Chicago, representing the 46th Ward. And he came to me, we had a meeting, he brought some papers and things. He said that we need a Metra station at 35th and State Street. And I told him, I said, okay, Chris, I'll work on that. That was back in 1984 when we started this, when we started bringing the pieces together. I just wish Chris could have been invited here to see this come to fruition. But I want you to know that it was Chris's idea to have this station here. It wasn't my original idea, it was Chris's idea. I took it and ran with it as a good politician should. I can't help but continue to do what I can for Lou and her family. Mary is a member of my church, and starting this summer, her grandnephew, I think it is, grandson, Dennis Hawkins, is going to be one of my interns in Washington. I want him to come to Washington and see how Washington works. That's right. So that he can put the legacy of his grandmama in perspective and understand how important public service is. And maybe one day he could be a congressman or a president or whatever, all right? All he has to do is just let a little of those genes, a little of that, those chromosomes, a little of that spirit. If he got a little bit of Lou's spirit, he's going to have a bright future in politics. Before I take my seat and we go on, I just want to remind you, Everett Rand is here with us. The Rand family means so much to us. But I just want to remind you that one of Lou's lasting legacies was Mother's Day. She single-handedly, with Elva and others, put together the most fascinating, powerful, and effective Mother's Day event that I have ever witnessed. And I vowed that when Lou died, that event would continue. It's taken a little while, but you have in your possession an invitation to attend a planning session for what would be an annual Lou Jones Memorial Mother's Day event in memory of Lou Jones. Every year you have in your possession an invitation to attend a meeting, I think it's on June 7th, at my office on 79th Street, where we're getting the plan for Mother's Day 2012, where we will reinstitute under Elvis leadership, the Lou Jones Memorial Mother's Day event and gala. We're going to continue this and make this a reality. Again, I want to thank each and every one of you for being so kind, and those who worked so hard. Jerry, I want to thank you because Jerry and the White Sox have said that they will be responsible for painting a mural on the walls that would be raise recognition to the Negro Baseball League that the White Sox are involved in here. And so various committees for doing that, and we want to thank you so very much. I see so many people, IIT, Metra, so many other individuals, the federal transportation officials here, so many people. I just want to thank you all for making this a great day. Let me just also tell each and every one of you, try Metra. Try Metra. I mean, I rode here this morning on Metra. It's a great ride. It's a comfortable ride. It's a safe ride. And it's a ride, as was said earlier, that really will keep your dollars in your pocket. Amen. So you ought to try Metra. Thank you so very much, and God bless each and every one.